guys, welcome back. In the previous lesson, you have learned about principal roots and irrational numbers. And you already know how to evaluate square roots that are perfect squares. But what if the whole number given is not a perfect square? How can you find the square root of this number without using calculator? What are the different ways or methods that you can use to look for the answer? These are some of the questions which you can answer once you understand the key concepts of estimating square roots of a whole number to the nearest hundredths. Before we proceed to our new lesson, let us consider this table of the square roots of perfect squares from 1 to 25. So, pwede nyo pandagdagan yan. Pero, itong 1 to 25 ay malaking tulong na sa atin to determine the approximate value of the square root of a number that is not a perfect square. Alright, let's begin with our first example. Estimate square root of 7 to the nearest hundredths. By the way, kapag sinabi nating hundredths, meron tayong 2 decimal places. So, i-estimate lang natin yung given number to the nearest hundredths. Okay? So, we have the square root of 7. Get the perfect squares closest to the square root of 7. So, yung mababa at mataas. So, we have square root of 4 and square root of 9. So, pwede natin tingnan yung table kanina. Okay? So, square root of 4 is less than to square root of 7 is less than to square root of 9. Square root of 4 is 2 and square root of 9 is 3. Therefore, square root of 7 lies between 2 and 3. So, gagamitin natin ngayon yung mas mababang integer o yung mababang integer. Ano ba siya? 2. Then afterwards, lalagyan natin siya ng 1 decimal place. So, pwede natin gamitin yung 1 hanggang 9. So, pwede siya maging 2.1, 2.2, 2.3. Pero, kunin natin yung medyo malapit-lapit na sa 7. Kasi i-square natin sila. So, that is 2.5. So, 2.5 square or 2.5 times 2.5 is 6.25. Next is 2.6 squared is equal to 6.76. And 2.7 squared is equal to 7.29. So, lumagpas na tayo doon sa 7. Kunin natin yung malapit. So, that is 2.6. Okay? Kasi siya yung mas malapit doon sa square root of 7 or doon sa given number na 7. Okay? Okay, so since nakuha na natin si 2.6, kasi siya yung pinakamalapit doon sa 7, mag-a-add ulit tayo ng another 1 place value para maging hundredths na siya. So, pwede natin gawin na 2.61, 2.62, 2.63 up to 2.69. Pero since malapit na si 2.6 kay 7, so ang gawin natin, start tayo kay 2.61. Okay? So, 2.61 squared is equal to 6.8121. 2.62 squared is equal to 6.8644. 2.63 squared is equal to 9169. So, medyo malapit na tayo kay 7. So, 2.64 squared is equal to 6.9696. And 2.65 squared is equal to 7.0225. So, kunin natin yung pinakamalapit kay 7. So, that is 2.65. Siya yung pinakamalapit. Therefore, the square root of 7 is 2.65 when estimated to nearest hundredths. Now, let us have our second example. Estimate the square root of 73 to the nearest hundredths. Okay, so same process tayo kay number 1. Kunin natin yung perfect squares closest to the square root of 73. Okay, so kunin natin yung mababa at mataas. That is square root of 64 and square root of 81. So square root of 64 less than to square root of 73 is less than to square root of 81. Now, get the square root of 64 and square root of 81. So we have 8 and 9. Therefore, square root of 73 lies between 8 and 9. Kunin natin yung mababang integer, which is 8. So kapag kinuha natin or magkakaroon tayo ng 1 decimal place, pwede natin i-consider yung medyo mataas or malapit na is 73. So kung magiging 8.1 siya, so consider natin parang medyo mababa. Okay. So kunin pa rin natin si 8.5 squared. So 8.5 squared is equal to 72.25. So medyo malapit na siya kay 73. 8.6 squared is equal to 73.96. And 8.7 squared is equal to 75.69. So kunin natin yung pinakamalapit. Okay, obvious naman ang pinakamalapit. That is 72.25. Okay? So si 8.5 yung gagamitin natin ngayon. Since si 8.5, kapag in-square natin ay malapit kay 73, so kunin na natin yung 8.51. So we have 8.51 squared is equal to 72.4201. 8.52 squared is equal to 72.5904. 8.53 squared is equal to 72.7609. 8.54 squared is equal to 72.9316. And 8.55 squared is equal to 73.1025. Kunin natin yung pinakamalapit. That is 8.54. Therefore, the square root of 73 is 8.54 when estimated to nearest hundredths. Now let us have our last example. Estimate the square root of 125 to the nearest hundredths. Okay, so kunin natin yung perfect squares closest to square root of 125. So they are the square root of 121 and the square root of 144. So pwede natin tignan ulit yung table kanina. So get the value of two perfect squares. The square root of 121 is 11 and square root of 144 is 12. Therefore, the square root of 125 lies between 11 and 12. Kunin natin yung mababang integer. 11. So, 11.1, pag in-square natin siya, medyo malapit kay square root of 125 or malapit kay 125. So, start tayo kay 11.1. So, 11.1 squared is equal to 123.21. 11.2 squared is equal to 125.44. And 11.3 squared is equal to 127.69. So, kung titignan natin, mas malapit si 125.44 or 11.2 squared kay 125. Kay 125. Pero since meron lang tayo ng 1 decimal place, so 11.1 ang kukunin natin. Okay? So siya yung gagamitin natin para ma-estimate natin si square root of 125 to the nearest hundredths. Okay, so we have a 11.15 squared is equal to 124.3225. Next, 11.16 squared is equal to 124.5456. 11.17 squared is equal to 124.7689. 11.18 squared is equal to 124.9924. And 11.19 squared is equal to 125.2161. So, nag-start tayo kay 15 kasi siya yung medyo malapit na kay 125. So, kunin natin yung nearest. Okay, yung closest kay 125. So, So that is 11.18. Therefore, the square root of 125 is 11.18 when estimated to nearest hundredths. Okay, before we end our discussion, let us have a 5-item activity. Estimate each square root to the nearest hundredths. So, pwedeng i-pause ang video para hindi mo na makita yung sagot. So, number 1, square root of 67 is equal to 8.19. Number 2, square root of 50 is equal to 7.07. Number 3, square root of 89 is equal to 9.43. Number 4, square root of 113 is equal to 10.63. And number 5, square root of 136 is equal to 11.66.